The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors. Warning. This program contains strong adult language, violence, and brief nudity. It's everything you're looking for. Live from the Sims Tower West in the Jim Robinson Toyota Studios, we are AM 1600 WKKX. From AM 1600 WKKX, the Valley's new watchdog. It's time once again for George Kellas, brought to you today by Coors and Coors Light.
Welcome back, Georgie K, Todd Jeffers, and Dougie Boyd. The caption at the bottom of the screen on Fox News right now reads, Treasury Secretary changing rescue rules in middle of game. Wait till you hear what they're doing with your tax dollars. Quick, give me $700 billion. I got a plan. Bail this out. He didn't have a plan. He changed the plan. And here's what's disgusting about this whole thing. You're going to love this part. Okay? Trust us. We're gonna bail everybody out. We're going to get this thing fixed up. As the financial industry cries poverty, billions, that's with a B, are going to be paid out this year to pay bonuses for these top executives at these companies. Here's Paulson today screaming, okay, well, we're going to change the rules. The program that we originally laid out for you doesn't address the financial crisis with the immediacy needed. Translation, my pals on Wall Street aren't getting their bonus checks in time to do their Christmas shopping. So they took our money. Paulson took your money and is giving billions of dollars in bonuses to the people who brought down our entire economy. Do you understand that? Here's the story from Fox. With the financial industry on the receiving end of a massive bailout by the government, one would assume Wall Street wouldn't be paying out bonuses this year. Think again. They quoted a guy named Alan Johnson. These people make 10 times as much as I do, and I'm losing my house. News reports have surfaced that Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley are among the Wall Street companies that have set aside billions with a B for bonuses. Do you understand that? Goldman Sachs is the company at which Mr. Paulson was the CEO before he took over as Treasury Secretary. And when all of those investment banks on Wall Street folded, there were only two left standing in the end. Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley are among the Wall Street companies that have set aside billions for bonuses. Todd?
They should be shot.
These people are the ones who've destroyed our economy.
George, I don't think you even understand, or we understand, all the atrocities that are going to happen between now and next January 20th.
Well, that's true. I mean, you got to keep an eye on what's going on
George
at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
George Bush still has the keys.
All right.
And he's out, so does he care what he does between now and the 20th? He's going to take care of all his buddies.
Now, I love this part. Quote, Wall Street is likely to pay bonuses to people unless there's legislation that prevents them to. Because nobody wants to be the one that doesn't pay when others do, said John Challenger, a chief executive of some company. So where is the leadership in Congress? Where is Nancy Pelosi? Where's the moratorium? Wait a minute. I'll be damned if they're going to take your taxpayer dollars, ladies and gentlemen, and give it over to these thugs who caused the problem in the first place and give them bonuses. We're putting a stop to it. We are the law. We have the ability to make law. That's our job. No, they're not going to get bonuses. No, we're not going to turn your tax dollars over to these people. Do you hear that? Do you hear that coming from the Speaker's chambers? Do you hear it coming from anywhere in the Senate? Do you hear it coming from anywhere at the White House? It's unbelievable. Well, here's another part that I really love. People have been expecting the bonus. If they yank that out from under people, Wall Street companies lose a competitive advantage.
Yeah, well, I was expecting to have an IRA when I retired.
So now you've got all
Who's going to bail me out?
You got all three big automakers in D.C. on their knees begging for more money. They just got a $25 billion bailout here about a month ago while everybody was sleeping through this whole other $700 billion mess. All right, so now you've got the automakers clamoring for more help. GM, Ford, and Chrysler have been meeting with Nancy Pelosi and others in Washington to ask for additional help on top of the $25 billion in low-interest loans they've already received.
Hey, how about this? How about building a car that gets more than 12 miles a gallon?
Well, they better. They've also been speaking in dire terms about their ability to survive without additional help. Who didn't know this was coming after what they did with the banking sector? GM in particular seems to be in difficulty. The company is burning through cash so quickly that it might not be able to fund its operations past the end of the year. Here we go with another panic. They told us this was Harry Reid's exact words in September. We may not have another day. We've got to turn this $700 billion over to Treasury Secretary Paulson, who sold them all a bill of goods. And they have pulled off essentially the biggest brakes job in American history.
Well, George, they're going to keep going back to the well until you put a lid on it.
Exactly, Todd. So somebody has got to say, no, you're not going to do this. And no, we're not going to turn billions of dollars over to these banking institutions so that, A, their inept leaders can walk away multi-millionaires while the shareholders get screwed every single day. And the stock certificates that they now have aren't even worth the paper they're written on. And no, you're not going to take that money and turn it into dividends for shareholders either. And somebody's got to have the leadership to stand up in the halls of Congress and in the White House to say, no, we're putting a stop to it. They are not going to do that. We're going to have oversight over every dollar of your tax money that they spend and how they spend it, because now we control the money. No longer are we going to put them in control of the money. We saw what happened when they were in control. They train wrecked their own institutions and our economy along with it. So now what have we done? Paulson's taken your $700 billion, doled out about $250 million of it to all of these banking institutions, and now they're going to bonus their executives and give dividends to their shareholders. How do you like that? How's all this deregulation working out for you? You like it? This sucks.